Breaking news. Nobody expected Sheikh Hamdan's father to agree with her. Chaliye shuru karte hain. Part 1. The Whisper of Doubt. In the palace halls where silence grew, a tale of love began, soft but true. Sheikh Hamdan's eyes, like stars at night, found in her presence a radiant light. But whispers stirred in corridors wide. His father's voice, tradition as guide, a ruler's duty, a crown to bear, could not be bound by a heart so rare. He spoke of kingdoms, of duties grand, of ties to honor and law's command. She is not the one, the elders said. Her shadow cannot beside you tread. Yet Hamdan's soul, a falcon in flight, held to her fiercely day and night. He wrote in verses his secret song, that love, though fragile, was always strong. The desert winds would carry his prayer across the dunes through starlit air. But in his heart a question grew. Would his father ever see this too? The throne was heavy, the burden deep. A father's promise he had to keep. But love was fire, untamed, divine, and whispered, "Someday she'll be mine." The people watched with cautious eyes. A prince in love against advice. Nobody thought, not even he, that fate could bend such destiny. The palace garden, veiled in night, became their haven, their secret light. Where jasmine bloomed and fountains sang, there bloomed a love the world called wrong. She stood with courage, her heart so pure, though whispers told her to endure. You'll never win a father's gaze. His heart is bound by ancient ways. Yet Hamdan's hand would clasp her own, promising she'd not stand alone. Through storms and trials, I'll stand by you. For love is stronger than royal rule. But still the silence weighed him down. His father's frown, the weight of crown. How could a falcon, fierce and free, bow to the chains of history? The nights grew longer, the days grew cold. The story whispered yet never told. Each glance, each smile, a hidden flame, unwritten pages without a name. And in the court the elders spoke, of laws unbending, of vows unbroke. Your father's word is steel, unshaken. This path of love must be forsaken. Yet something stirred in Hamdan's eyes, a storm of truth no veil could hide. He loved her not in fleeting grace, but as the soul he could not replace. The city wondered, the people guessed. Would this defiance stand the test? Still none believed, not even he, that fate would bend so suddenly. His eyes like steel, his gaze exact. He bore the weight of crown and land, with justice firm and guiding hand. He'd built a world on honor's stone, where duty reigned and love was flown. And yet he saw, though silent still, the fire that lived in Hamdan's will. At night he'd walk through palace halls, where echoes whispered through the walls. He'd hear his son's soft verses rise, carried like prayers into the skies. The father paused. His heart was torn. For kings are made, but men are born. Could he deny what love had sown? Or would his son stand all alone? In council chambers the voices cried, "A prince cannot take her as his bride. Think of the kingdom, the blood, the name. This union would bring only shame." But deep inside a memory stirred, of when his heart once too had yearned. He thought of youth, of dreams that fade, of love he lost, of choices made. A shadow crossed his noble brow. He whispered low, "But what of now? If love can heal, if truth can bind, what folly to leave such joy behind." Yet pride was iron, tradition flame, a father bound by crown and name. And so he waited, watched, and weighed each word his son and lover prayed. Nobody guessed, not even she, that soon his heart might bend, set free. For kings are stern, but fathers know the cost of saying no to love. The day arrived, the air was tense. A gathering called the court immense. The father's voice, both sharp and deep, made even silence bow and weep. Sheikh Hamdan's son, you know my stand. The weight of crown, this ancient land. Your heart is fire, but fire must bow to law and custom here and now. Hamdan stood tall, his spirit strong. My father, I cannot call this wrong. For love is not a fleeting flame. It is my soul, it bears her name. You taught me honor, truth, and grace, to lead with justice, not just face. If I deny the truth I feel, what crown remains? What love is real? The hall fell still, the people stared. A prince so bold, a heart so bared. The father frowned, yet in his chest a storm was raging, unconfessed. He saw his son, no longer boy, but man who sought a deeper joy. He saw her eyes, both calm and true, a strength that kingdoms rarely knew. He thought of nights when he was young, when songs of love were left unsung, and wondered if, in letting go, he'd lost the chance his son now chose. The silence cracked, the court did wait, to hear the ruler's final state. And though his pride still fought within, a softer voice began to win. For kings may guard tradition's flame, but fathers know love's truer name. And in that hall where fate was cast, the future trembled, change at last. The father rose, his robe of white, his presence blazing, fierce as light. The court grew still, no breath was drawn. The fate of two hung with the dawn. He looked at her, so calm, so brave, a heart unbent, a soul unswayed. He looked at Hamdan, eyes of flame, a prince who'd never bowed to shame. For moments long the silence burned. The world awaited what he'd return. Would duty win or love prevail? Would history write a harsher tale? Then came the words, both sharp and clear, that shook the hall that none would hear. I see the fire within your eyes. I see the truth no crown denies. I too once loved, I too once dreamed. I too once fought what fate had deemed. And though I bowed, I paid the cost. A love so deep, forever lost. So let it end, this iron chain. Let love, not law, forever reign. If she's your truth, then she is mine. Your heart, your throne, in one shall shine. A gasp arose, the hall grew loud.